Many people were left quite pleased with the outcome of the Venom movie from 2018. Considering how it doubles as a buddy comedy, a superhero, or is it villain, film, and a blockbuster about one of the most iconic characters in the Spider-Man universe, it's not surprised that the film even got a sequel 3 years later. We're talking about Venom: Let There Be Carnage, featuring not only everyone's favorite alien symbiote, but two of them. Welcome to Binge TV, and today we'll be presenting you with our exclusive Binge or Bin review on Venom: Let There Be Carnage from 2021. The first thing you should know about this film is that, as expected from a sequel, Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy, returns to his role as anti-heroic symbiote alter ego Venom. This time, they'll face off against big bad serial killer Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson, who's also empowered by his own symbiote. The casting department really excelled selecting Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, with his character being quite unsettling from the get-go. Just take a look at his facial expressions. Nothing screams psychotic serial killer more than Cassidy's facial expressions, contorting body movements, and slasher smiles before stealing every scene he walks in. His motivation in this film is to survive and spend time with his childhood love, Frances Barrison, also known as Shriek. Curiously enough, though, Shriek is played by Naomi Harris and still has the power to create sonic blasts by screaming, in this adaptation, she's not even called by her comic book villain name. Casting and actors. One of the acting highlights of the film is the relationship between both Eddie and Venom, which depicts their relationship through comedy gags, but also explains the actual intricacies of living with each other. In fact, the main plot point of the film is how these two manage to survive with one another. Of all the things a superhero film could be about, no one could imagine Venom's theme being cohabitation, marriage, and accepting someone else as your life partner. That's because, as a shadowy mirror of their life situation, Cassidy and Shriek are trying to bust each other out of jail to get married, while Venom and Brock are finding ways to accept each other as their permanent life partners. Plot and script. The script was written by Kelly Marcel. As a matter of fact, the first film got some criticism for rushing the relationship between Eddie and Venom, with Venom's case being particularly egregious because he just declared out of nowhere he likes Eddie so much that he'll turn against his entire race, ignoring how on Earth this alien symbiote is going to adapt to another planet's customs, more so when his main form of nourishment is human brains. This one starts with them again at odds, leading to a much more earned reconciliation. We have the first act featuring the Brock-Venom duo finding ways to exist in modern society. Brock is still a tabloid journalist who looks like he hasn't shaved in weeks, eventually landing an exclusive interview with Cletus Cassidy, a case that eluded police detective Mulligan, played by Stephen Graham. Eddie is trying to become a written word journalist instead of a video host, despite the distraction of Venom's alien symbiote bonded to him as seen in Marvel's Spider-Man comics. Eddie is feeding Venom with chocolate-containing chemicals to keep him at bay from eating Eddie from the inside out, though Venom would rather get these chemicals directly from eating the brains of bad guys. Carnage was created a bit differently from his comic book origin in the debut film. Here, he's born when Cletus ingests some of Eddie's symbiote after biting his hand, so in a way, Venom is Carnage's father. Cassidy is then placed in line for the electric chair, eventually fusing with the symbiote. The film also highlights a broader set of abilities and CGI tricks from each of the symbiotes to showcase their potential. Cassidy employs his newfound symbiote powers to find his mutant girlfriend, and in the second act, Venom's relationship with Brock is so strained that he breaks up with him, eventually crashing at a costume party as himself, which is incredibly hilarious if you think about it. Ironically, it's Eddie's efforts to keep Venom contained within society's rules, alien to the symbiote hosted inside his body, that create Carnage inside Cassidy. Venom is an anti-hero, but Carnage is a full-blown villain. It's literally Venom and Brock without morals and permanently bloodlusted. However, since the movie is PG-13, most of the carnage is actually bloodless. The film's stinger reveals something interesting, which was actually hinted by MCU Disney Plus series Loki: the existence of other universes, in this case, alternate universes. Eddie and Venom end up teleporting into the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the end of the film, and they do so just in case to watch the news report of Spider-Man's identity reveal. This happens right when Venom is just about to show Eddie information about his species and has no given explanation in the film. So you can rest assured that this is how Venom will end up featuring in Spider-Man: No Way Home in the future. Sounds like very exciting news for Spider-Man fans who were wondering why none of their beloved Spider-Man characters were even mentioned in the Venom films. Regarding the special effects in the film's cinematography, many fans were initially left disappointed with some of the trailers looking particularly dull back then when the film was announced before the pandemic. However, Venom looks great in this animation when he's on screen or employing his black tendrils. Carnage's shots are even better, with his tendrils literally showcasing why he's named like that, employing relentless ferocity and strength that one would expect from a symbiote. That doesn't change the fact that the film does look dull at times. The film's main weakness is its abundance of mini plot holes, continuity errors, and honestly badly edited scenes that leave one wondering what happened during all the post-production. Cassidy is angry at Brock for reasons one barely understands, constantly berating him for betraying him. This isn't really explained by director Andy Serkis, nor are a couple segments that are missing from the final showdown, such as when Venom's pinned beneath a pile of stone blocks that no one knew were there. And he wasn't Venom a moment ago, he was Brock. There's never a moment or sequence in which Cletus marvels at his new alien symbiote abilities, which seems like a missing piece, considering how moments ago he was going to be killed, and now he's an expert at killing people with alien tendrils. Doesn't sound realistic even for an unrealistic scenario, right? The movie's comedy is better than the action, especially considering the interesting dynamic between the main characters, which is explored through slice-of-life activities instead of action scenes. And honestly, seeing red and black blobs hurl each other through the air is only entertaining for a moment, not necessarily for more than the final act. With a character like Carnage, the movie had more potential to explore his own relationship with Cassidy, where no one knows who's crazier than the other, just like we had in the comic books, but these interactions are limited throughout the film, making him seem like a cookie-cutter villain at best. Doesn't change the fact that seeing Carnage animated on the big screen isn't amazing, though. Final verdict. So now that we've analyzed the film's major points, it's time for our final verdict. Is Venom, Let There Be Carnage, a binge or a bin? Drum rolls, please. The film is a good take on a lighthearted superhero comedy film, but sometimes loses its identity. It can be jarring how sometimes the special effects look fantastic, yet other times it's more than obvious that it's CGI. The cinematography and direction isn't the best we've seen in a superhero film either. The film's mostly carried by the acting chops of Harrelson and Hardy, who are legitimately Venom, Let There Be Carnage's strongest point. So we'd say the film is a strong 3.5 out of 5. It's a binge you can watch, and doubly so if you're a Spider-Man fan, but it's not necessarily the best there is. So what are your thoughts on today's binge or bin for Venom? Do you agree with our rating, or do you think the movie deserved better? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time for more.